I don't think women will go on a date with a guy that they wouldn't find attractive. You can tell me.
That's true. That is true. I think personally I wouldn't, but I've met guys before where they've been like kind of obsessed with me not in a weird way, but kind of in a weird way, you know.
All right, maybe you got that addictive energy, girl. Maybe you have it, boy. No, you don't. Yeah, maybe you got it.
But it does kind of give me the ick, and straight away I'm like, they're so nice to me, and I wouldn't date them because I'm like, I don't find you attractive, like not as in like looks, but just in terms of the personality. I cannot deal with having a man. I want him to be obsessed with me, but not too cringy, if that makes sense.
Did he pedestalize you too quickly?
Yeah, I think you want a man that obviously thinks you're good looking and whatever.
Yeah.
But it's so much deeper than that. I can't deal with men that are really like simps.
Big facts.
Yes, upgrade. So I think having a man that's so obsessed with you is not normal. But
it's so fun because girls will see this online. They're like, if he's not obsessed with you, that's like the bare minimum.
That's not me. That's not for me. Honestly, I think I want a man that's obsessed with me in a normal way. Like, he thinks I'm really good looking and he wants to do stuff with me. And yeah, he looks at me, with love. But I don't want him to kind of straight away from the first time I meet him to go, yeah, so where you up tonight? Like, what you doing? Oh, like crazy. I've had these experiences before.
Wow.
Where I would chat to a guy for about 5 minutes and he would genuinely say to me, oh, I bet you got loads of attention tonight. As in, like, I just find it a bit weird.
Is that not a compliment, though?
No, but I think it's a bit. I don't think it is, because when you just started speaking to someone, let's say I've literally met that person that day. This is a real story, right?
Yeah.
From my past experience. I met a guy on the same night that I was going out, basically, with my friends. And he came to the bar that we were sitting in afterwards, because he was working before that. And then he came over and just sat on our table and we just had the chat. We went outside, had the chat. It was lovely. Like, he was a very sweet guy, and I'm sure he's going to find a girl that's going to love that. But then he started messaging me like, hey, like all the time. And I've messaged back because I was out with my friends. So it's like, I'm not going to sit there and, I don't know, sit on my phone and just text the whole night, right?
Yeah, of course.
And then literally the next day he would just go to me, oh, I bet you got loads of attention at the club, but not in like a nice way. It's more of like a...
Oh, this was over text.
Over text, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it's not like in a nice way, it's a compliment. It's more of like...
He's being insecure because you weren't messaging him.
And I can't deal with men that are insecure.
Yeah, that makes sense.
For me, like, especially because obviously the content that I post, I'm in my bikinis, I do modeling. Do you know what I mean? I can't sit with a man that's constantly thinking and worried about me doing things, because when I am in a relationship with someone and I'm actually exclusively dating someone, I'm so loyal. Like, I don't care. I don't know, Drake could come in, anyone, and I would be like, oh, cool. Like, cool, nice to meet you, and that's it. I'm really like a loyal person, and I cannot deal with a man that's constantly kind of saying stuff like that to me. I just think it's too much, especially when you've just met them.
Yeah, I get you. And it's almost like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not that you don't want your guy to be obsessed with you, but it needs to be, if you've been in a relationship and you've gone through the honeymoon phase, he's like, I'm just obsessed with Paula. She's my girl. I love her, adore her. That's fine, right? But it's in the beginning, I guess, is it almost because you feel like the relationship that you have with him that's so brief, it hasn't earned the obsession yet?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Someone doesn't actually know you.
Exactly.
I could be an absolute horrific person.
Very true.
Why are you're only obsessed with me because you like what you see.
Yeah.
And I
think
he's projecting, yeah. And I don't like that. I think, get to know me, because I'm more than my look.
100%. So, everything you just said, that's exactly how guys feel on the first date when she's like, you're going to be my boyfriend.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Where, obviously, most girls don't say that, right? But, because I've had that before. I went on a second date with a girl. She's like, so when are we making this official? I was like, oh, wait. I was like, I just met you. Do you know what I mean? And it's definitely, it's on both sides. I think if they project that fantasy onto the other person and the other person feels that, immediately it's going to turn them off, even if they were open to something with you. What do you think makes a woman obsessed with a man?
You know what?
Say it how it is.
I actually think when a man is like, for me, this is like my personal thing. I don't know about other women.
Yeah,
I can't really tell, but for me, it's like when a man is a bit mysterious, like he's not giving his all on the first date, and like there's more to find out, and he's kind of like laid back, I'll see you when I see you type of thing. Like he's not too keen.
Okay.
And I think that is a big thing that makes me obsessed with a man. That when someone's too much straight away, for me, that is a massive red flag for me.
Yeah.
So when a man is more laid back and I can actually kind of work for it as well myself, like I feel like it should work both ways. You kind of want a guy to know that you're also keen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think like it's a nice balance there.
Yeah.
And I think when a guy's just funny and, you just sit there and you look at him and you think, oh my God, you know what? You actually are a great person. And I think that then when you see them again, it's like, oh my God, they're still that same person. It's like, okay, I'm kind of obsessed with you.
Yeah.
But I don't even think it's looks. You then start to look more like beyond the looks. And I think their personality, the way they are, is what actually makes you obsessed.
Yeah, 100%. Does it ever happen? Because we know guys become obsessed with girls because of their looks. So we know guys are very visual. Does it ever happen the other way at all?
100%.
Does it?
100%.
So like a girl can become obsessed with a guy because he looks really good.
Oh, 100%. It's like when someone's really good looking, sometimes even if they're a little bit, dead personality or like their banter's just non-existent.
Yeah.
I think girls still want to see them because they are good looking, and it's like that whole idea of walking with a guy. I'll tell you this in a bit, but when you got a good looking guy with you, everyone's looking all the girls are looking at you, being jealous and thinking, oh my God, you're walking around with a guy that's fit. Like, yeah, I think it works like that. It works both ways.
Yeah, of course.
We always think about this whole idea of having like a trophy wife.
Yeah.
I feel like women kind of want like a trophy husband sometimes as well.
Yeah, I definitely think especially nowadays, the standards for men in looks has kind of gone up in women, very much so. So what do you think is So I agree, like, in terms of women walking around with a great guy, like a really good looking guy, it kind of gives her status amongst other women in the ring, right? So what do you think gives a woman like more status? A guy being very, very attractive or a guy being very, very successful?
I think a guy being very successful probably is a lot more like if
Potent.
yeah, definitely. I think when a guy is kind of rich, the girls are more likely to kind of like, oh my God, my boyfriend has taken me to Dubai and like carry the LV bags with them and all this stuff that is kind
It's
of
a flex.
yeah, it's a flex. They sit in a Uber, not an Uber. What am I saying? In Uber, they sit in a taxi on the way to like some fancy event.
Yeah.
They like pose themselves, never the boyfriend.
Yeah. Why though?
Right. I always think it's really strange that girls do that. They have these successful rich guys they go out with and they don't pose them on their socials.
I have a theory
Go on.
why. I have potentially two theories why. Why do you think?
I think because I think the first thing, obviously, a lot of girls are funny about tagging their boyfriends on socials because they're scared that other woman will obviously try to go for it.
Very good point.
That's the first thing.
Yeah.
But I also think if the girl is a lot more attractive than the guy, she feels embarrassed to post him.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Even if he's like super successful, like she's like really into it.
And she, because the thing is though, she might actually not really find him physically attractive. She's attracted to his money and his success.
But can she? So I would say if she's attracted to his money, I say that's very gold digger territory. But you know how you said about, oh, you can meet a guy and he might not be crazy attractive, but if he has these other qualities, then attraction can grow.
Yeah.
Does that not make her see him as being attractive if she falls in love with certain qualities that he has? Or will she always kind of objectively be like, I'm really drawn to this person, but I can objectively see he's not that good looking, so I don't want to post with him?
I think it just really depends on the woman. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. Like, I'm very open on my socials. If I had a boyfriend, like, looks, who cares about the looks sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, if they're an amazing person, like, why would you be embarrassed to post just, your guy? Like, I don't understand. It really confuses me because I'm like, how can you not post your partner?
Can I be honest? And this is what a lot of guys think. I think that it often happens where the reason she doesn't post him is because there's an element of her that believes she can do better. So she wants to maintain looking available in case a better option comes along.
That's actually so true. No, that is true.
Because I think if a girl is, I think if she's with the kind of guy that he's just that guy, she wants to show him to everyone. Yeah, that's my man. No one come for him because that's my guy. But if she's with a guy like, oh, he's really great, I like him and stuff, but I kind of feel I may be able to, maybe get an option from a higher caliber guy or whatever, right? Especially if she's, if she's really particular about who she settles down with. I think that's a really big reason.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys think that.
I think, especially in this industry of like influencers and models and stuff, that is 100% a thing where you see girls post their partners, but they'll literally just be their hand or whatever. It actually won't be the person because they're just trying to keep it as low-key as they can, or they'll put it on the close friends stories.
Yeah.
So no people from like the actual public will see their boyfriends.
Yeah.
Because they actually do think that, you know what, if an opportunity arises, I could be getting out of this relationship to have someone better.
You know what? I appreciate you being honest because I've had this conversation with quite a few girls before and they always deny that it's a thing. And I think guys always think this. And I think subconsciously, I feel like we all kind of know this. So I guess if a guy gets to a relationship with a girl and let's say she does post her friends and stuff, so she has no qualms posting kind of personal relationships, but she doesn't post him, would you say that's a red flag?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you heard it here first, boys. You heard it here first. Wow. I mean, yeah, it makes complete sense.
It is a red flag.
So how do girls feel if a guy didn't post her?
Does
she think the same thing?
Yeah, girls would think it's a red flag because they would think if my boyfriend's not posting me on his socials and it's because he's leaving himself open to have a woman. But I think it works both ways.
Yeah.
Because if you're not posting your man and you're basically looking single on your socials, then I feel like you kind of need to be single.
Yeah. No, I hear that. I would say maybe the difference though is I think that if a guy's trying to hide his relationship, neither is okay, right? But I think it's mainly for casual relationships. Like, oh, if a girl one night or whatever comes across and he's like, oh yeah, I indulged there sexually. I don't, they call it monkey branching where like, you have one relationship, but you've got another person lined up, right? To jump to another relationship. I think that's something women tend to do more so than guys, but guys, it tends to be so they can indulge casually. Neither is okay. But yeah, I think that's why. Interesting. So with your friends, I know you said they're kind of like serial daters, right?
Yeah.
What do you think that maybe they're doing or not seeing that maybe isn't helping them progress things the way that they wanted to?
It's because they just get too emotionally involved with these guys. Like, they will start off as a casual relationship sometimes, and then they will keep seeing them. And then the guy still hasn't made it exclusive with them.
Yeah.
But in their heads, like what we spoke about earlier,
Okay.
they're already there.
Do they know it's a casual relationship in the beginning, the guys? Oh.
Yeah, so it starts off as a casual.
So it's like, okay, we're casual, that's fine.
Yeah.
And
they just, feelings get involved and someone gets hurt type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it goes wrong for them. Or I've got a friend and literally every single relationship she's been cheated on.
Damn.
But you know what? This is not even like, I really think it's a thing where it's so normal for us women to be labeled as psychos now, right?
Sure.
That's a massive thing.
Yeah.
Or girls are psychos.
Yeah, she's crazy. Yeah.
She's crazy type of thing. Yeah. And I think it's actually true a lot.
She's like, this is a stereotype and it's true.
And it's true. I mean, every single gal, including me, has gone to some crazy, like, mental point before where you've either checked their following or kind of, I don't know, stalled the exes or like whatever it is.
Yeah.
We've all done it before.
What is the craziest thing you've done?
Hope you really enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full episode where that clip is from, then I want you to click right here where you can watch the full episode. And if you're ready to claim your man today, enroll in my program below and I'll see you there. Wishing you an amazing day.